Nancy Shaw with Healthy Living. Today our guest is Erin Carpenter. Hi Erin, thank you for joining us.
Hi Nancy.
Erin oversees the Ames Parks and Recreation Taekwondo program. So Erin, our Taekwondo program is just growing in leaps and bounds, which is amazing.
It is.
Thanks to your direction. So tell us a little bit of Taekwondo. What is the reason a lot of people get involved with Taekwondo?
A lot of people get involved because it's cool.
It is pretty cool.
You know, they see martial arts in movies,
Right.
or they're like, I want to be the next Karate Kid, whatever. So I think that there's that sort of appeal of it being something cool to do. A lot of kids also really like it because it's an individual activity, not a team activity necessarily. So although we have some team aspects to the program,
Right.
Their success is dependent on them.
Right. So they can progress at their own level.
Exactly.
And take it as far as they want to go. They don't have to worry about a team environment as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of parents and kids in Taekwondo. Is it appropriate for both parents and kids to?
We have several families participating all together. Most of the students are, you know, from 8 to 12 years old, but there's also some parents in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and then a handful of, you know, adult people not
Right.
attached to children.
Right. So it really is a sport for all levels,
all ages. Yes.
Do you have to have some sort of prior experience before getting involved with the Taekwondo program?
No, I mean, everybody, you know, you're born as a baby, you don't have any martial arts experience.
Right.
Sometimes we do have people come in from other programs or other styles of martial arts, and they want to learn how to kick and punch better. Like, that's great, and we work them in, but you know, everybody has to start sometime.
Right.
Everybody at some point had zero experience. I had zero experience at some point.
Yes.
So we take everybody from the very beginning up as high as they want to go.
So as I know, as they progress in Taekwondo, they have to test. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about the testings. How does that work?
Sure. Testings, we have a curriculum, so every belt level, we start with white belt, and they have to learn just a basic set of skills, memorize a form, learn a few other like self-defense techniques,
Okay.
and some other just kind of classroom etiquette kind of stuff. And then when they have, you know, learned this basic set, they test. So they have to perform it in front of a panel of judges. So
Okay.
it's just a little bit of stress.
Right.
And then we add another layer of information, and they test on that. And we add
Okay.
another layer of information, they test on that.
So they test basically whenever they're ready to move to the next level. And for some people, it might take longer than others. There's no.
Yeah, so we tell the kids, it's not like in school where everybody is in third grade together and, you know, you learn everything at the same time and then everybody moves on to fourth grade together.
Right.
Everybody gets to learn at their own pace. So we have some people, they come once a week. That's fine, that's great, but it's gonna take them, you know,
a little longer,
than someone that comes 2 or 3 times a week. They're probably gonna learn faster and progress faster.
Right, that makes sense.
So also part of it is don't judge yourself based on how other people are doing as well.
Sure.
Like, you know, just focus on yourself
Right.
and how you are learning and what, you know, you have gained in your experience.
And then, so our program has actually 3 different levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Yes, for the regular classes.
For the regular classes.
Yeah.
And then our newest class is our Taekwondo Dragon class, which we started last year, and it has been an amazing class to introduce.
Yeah, we started it in January and it fills up like
It does.
for 5, 6, 7-year-olds.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, so tell me a little bit about 5, 6, 7-year-olds. So it's the little ones. That
Right.
We haven't really had our regular classes. They are asked to be 8 years old.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about those Dragon classes.
So it kind of started because we had so many younger siblings of our regular students who wanted to do Taekwondo, but for, you know, every now and then I would get like a 6-year-old that can handle the 8-year-old classes and be okay also with being there for an hour.
Right. Yes.
Most 5, 6, 7-year-olds do not have an attention span for an hour.
That's a long time.
It is. And they just have different learning needs as
Right.
well. So the 5-6 class is half an hour, and the 7-year-old class is 45 minutes.
Okay.
And that works out a lot better for
does.
them.
That does. And so when you get those little kids go to Taekwondo and they see their older siblings doing it, they don't have to wait until
Yeah.
they're 8, which I know has been
It's
a big...
super cute. I
It
mean,
is.
they're adorable.
Yes, they are so cute. And like you mentioned, those classes fill up so fast. So people
Right.
really need to be on top of it and get registered. In fact, we added a section because
did.
it was filling up way too fast, which is a good problem.
Right.
So
Didn't really anticipate that, but yeah.
I know. So our classes are held at the Ames Middle School Wrestling
Right.
Room, which is a great facility for us. And as I talked about a little bit ago, we have beginner, intermediate, advanced.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Like, how long are you usually a beginner? And I know it varies depending on
Right.
testing, but how long do a lot of people take before they get to those advanced classes?
I mean, there's just so many variables. It depends
Right.
on how old they are, depends on how often they come to class.
Okay.
We've had people in the beginner class for 8 or 10 months
Uh-huh.
or 2 or 3 months.
So again, it's just really very dependent.
It just depends on it, and it's on them to learn the material to be able to transition to the next class.
So then intermediate and advanced classes, obviously those kids have been in it a little while
Right.
and they're really seeing themselves. I know when I was in it for that brief time, just the fact that I could break a board was an amazing feat for me.
Right. So the beginner class, they're learning the basics, like how to kick
Right.
without hurting themselves or others. In the intermediate class, then we start sparring and board breaking and doing more complicated techniques. So, and then by the
advanced classes.
they get to advanced a few years later, then we're talking about more jumping, flying, and
Crazy things.
harder contact.
Yeah.
More honestly dangerous techniques that just require students to be a little bit older and mature,
Right.
and also have the self-control and the awareness to not hurt each other.
Right, right. And it is just a process.
Yeah.
They start and they slowly build on those skills. As far as what most kids, well, all kids actually wear, and adults, or I should say all participants wear in class.
Yeah.
You're wearing
So I'm wearing
uniform.
a dobuk, but if you're coming to a class, something like this is totally fine. We do work out barefoot, unless you have, a reason
Right.
to not wear shoes or socks. For people with foot issues, you can get special shoes to wear. But for the most part, until people decide that they really, really like Taekwondo and they want to invest in a uniform,
Right.
and that they plan to test for a rank someday, then just
Just come in
regular
workout clothes, which is
comfortable
nice.
workout clothes.
So
Yeah.
they all get a uniform once they decide to start testing. Correct?
Right.
Yeah. And they get that from you, so they don't even have to worry about going shopping and trying to
Right.
figure out what to buy, which is wonderful. So it's been kind of exciting the last 2 years. You have done an amazing thing, taken a group of our students to nationals. So
Right.
tell us a little bit about nationals and the whole competition
Okay.
program.
Well, I'm going to back up just a little bit.
Okay.
So I think 3 years ago, we started a competition class on Sundays after the regular class. And that was just to spend a little bit more time getting students ready to go to local tournaments. And they went to local tournaments and they did really well. And they were like, we want to do more. So it's like, okay, I guess we'll do more practices. So then we started a team where we worked out multiple times a week during the season from like January to June. And yeah, we took students down to Austin, Texas last year for nationals. I think we took 10
I was going to say, there was a
10
big
or 11.
group that went.
Right. And we did bring home 4 medals in sparring, which was really exciting.
Wonderful, yes.
So that was very exciting. They were super pumped.
And they really practice hard. I mean, they have these additional practices on Mondays and Wednesday nights that they're pretty dedicated.
Right, and they're a couple hours each, and that's in addition to their regular classes on Sunday,
right.
Tuesday, Thursday. Plus, a lot of them are playing other sports at the same time.
And they balance it all.
They do.
Yep.
And then this past summer, we took a smaller team of, I think, 6 or 7 to Richmond, Virginia.
And it was a lot further for people to, I know that was an issue with a lot of people.
Yeah, for the travel is
right,
difficult.
The travel. But
yeah.
they did it, and they did an amazing job.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
No medals this year, but it's such a big event. I mean, sometimes there's 90 competitors in the division. And so even just, placing in like the top 20 for some of them is a really big accomplishment.
Really neat. So sparring, you talked about, is part of Taekwondo, but also forms are. So tell us what a form is, first of all.
It's a choreographed series of movements
Okay.
that is based on the idea of you're in a little mock battle, and there's an attacker over here, and you block and attack them, and an attacker over here, and you block and attack them. And you do a series of 20 or so movements that the students have to memorize and work on improving.
Okay.
And with competition, it's very technical. So they have to do every movement very precisely, very correctly.
Right. And
So
they practice
it's
those.
a big exercise for their brains.
Right. I was gonna
Not
say,
just
they
their bodies.
practice those. So would you be so kind to show us a form?
Sure, I think I'll show you the yellow belt form today.
That'd be great. So Erin, thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us about the Ames Parks and Recreation Taekwondo program. If you are interested in taking Taekwondo, you may contact me at 239-5353 for questions or to get registered. Or of course, you may register online at amesparkrec.org. Thank you again, Erin.
You're welcome.
And this is Nancy Shaw for Healthy Living. And remember, it's never too late to get fit.